What's up guys? So I just got back from Ralph's getting a bunch of water because today we're gonna try and start my car. So it might not start, surprisingly, as it usually has problems, but when the car did catch on fire and it shorted one of the wires, it actually shorted all the way to the ECU. And that wire was actually for the crank position sensor. So I fixed it all. I repinned it, the harness into the ECU and stuff. So harness wise, it should be good. But if it, for some reason, destroyed the circuit inside the ECU, it's not gonna start because it needs that sensor, that reading from that sensor. So it's either gonna start or it's not gonna start. And if it doesn't start, you probably won't see this video for a while because I'm gonna have to do a bunch of other stuff that's gonna cost money. So first of all, I got some stuff I need to do. I already made new plug wires and everything, kind of checked a lot of stuff off the list. So the last thing I have to do now is push rods, which takes like 30 minutes. Then I gotta fill it with oil, put some water in it, and hook up a battery because I don't have my actual battery yet. I'm getting an Odyssey battery, and I'm gonna mount it in the car. So I'm gonna basically kind of just have it sitting on the passenger seat for now just to run the car and make sure everything works. All right, so I'm gonna get to work. I'm just gonna time lapse this part. Putting push rods in the engine is easy, and I already built this engine like twice on this channel. So yeah, you're just gonna watch me do it, but in time lapse mode. Okay, so I got my new rocker arms and push rods in. All I gotta do now is fill it with oil, put some water in it, and just kind of hook up a battery, and then we should see if it's gonna start or not. Oil's in. I actually won a giveaway on Instagram for Pure Oil, so I'm gonna try it out. I got a bunch of oil for free. I got water filled up. I got my battery rigged up, so there's nothing really holding me back now. So yeah, like I said, the battery thing isn't permanent. I gotta order one still, but I just want to make sure it works, because otherwise I'm probably just gonna order an ECU instead. All right. We're gonna kind of slowly prime it because this thing's been sitting for a while. Starting to get some oil pressure. I think the battery cable is really small, so it's making it start kind of weird. All right, let's see what happens. Okay, I think I need a different battery wire. It's gonna work. I think it's too small. All right, I just got a jumper cable on there. Let's see if this helps. Don't think it's turning fast enough. I didn't plug the coil pack in. Oh, that's why. This might fall. If it does, oh well. Let's see if it starts. So the car obviously wasn't starting. What I suspected was wrong is actually wrong. That pin to the ECU is, they got shorted, ended up frying the circuit on the ECU. But I actually have another ECU from work and it has like the VATs and emissions delete, so it will still crank and get spark and stuff that we use on our engine dyno there that I'm gonna be able to try and use. So I'm gonna unplug mine really quick and then go grab the other one and plug it in and then try again. And I have no idea what tune is on this thing. The last time they used it was like 6 years ago, I guess, because we don't really dyno LS engines that often. Yeah, so it might not run great, but as long as I know it gets spark, I know what the problem is. And if it does idle decently, I'll let it run for a little bit, get it kind of warm and bleed the coolant. And yeah, so I'm gonna put that ECU in and then we're gonna see what happens. Okay, so the car obviously isn't starting. Let me kind of show you where I'm at right now. I kind of took a step back, brought out the multimeter and started looking at some diagrams. And I think I have a solution that's not gonna involve another ECU or anything. So I got the multimeter out. There's nothing getting to the sensor, which makes sense because it's not getting 12 volts. So I also checked the pin out on the ECU. The one that comes out to this sensor is literally just says ignition voltage. It's 12 volts that is supposed to be going to it. So my plan is to basically just jump 12 volts to that wire from off my little like ignition power block that I have for like all my other stuff that comes on, like the ECU and things like that. So I have my multimeter out. And let me remind you, this video has taken 4 days. There's 4 days of me struggling over this. And yeah, I should have taken my multimeter out from the beginning, and what I found was wrong was literally something they teach you in school. It's like the first thing you want to look for when you have an open circuit. But yeah, so I pulled my multimeter out and I was checking the voltage on the sensor because I was just gonna stop trying to just hope things work and actually figure it out. And there's no voltage to it. I was like, oh, that's kind of weird. All right, well, I'll just go plug my scan tool in and see what it says. Plug it in, the scan tool doesn't even turn on. So I was like originally thinking, well, I just blew the whole 12 volt circuit in the ECU or something. And I was just so dead set on it being the ECU because I knew there was a burnt wire that went all the way into it, and I knew there was nothing between that, so I was just set on that burnt wire going to the ECU. And now I went to go check another sensor, nothing, no voltage. And then I sat down in my car and I was like, I'm an idiot. I spent 4 days looking for a blown fuse. It's literally a fuse that I spent 4 days looking for. So I'm gonna fucking plug the new one in and stop stressing out trying to figure this stupid shit out, and we're gonna start the car. So dash is back in, got the battery hooked up. In the midst of my frustration, the cutoff switch became a casualty, so that's gone. It broke. It was kind of shitty anyway, so I need a new one. But yeah, so when I start this up, it might not start still. I have no idea what kind of damage the ECU actually still has with that much current running through it. It might be totally fine, it might not be fine, so let's find out. I actually think I inadvertently unplugged that somehow when I was actually taking the dash off to get to the fuse, but it's back together. And listen to this. You can hear the ECU turn on now. That click right there. All right, I think we're gonna start this thing now. All or nothing. We're gonna do it in the seat.
clearly it runs. It runs a little rich. I think I have the wrong O2 sensor in. Reason being it has a forward and a back before and after the cat. And I think it's reading it wrong and making it really rich. It's making my eyes water really bad because the exhaust is it stings from how much fuel is in it. But yeah, so I'm gonna play with that later, but it runs, so I don't really care too much. If you're wiring stuff and you have an issue and you have an open circuit, make sure to check the fuse first. Don't be an idiot like me and take 4 days to find that. And yeah, hopefully that kind of helps, because you don't have to go through my pain. It's kind of why I make these videos, so you guys can learn and you can watch me hate myself and this car until it runs again. But yeah, all right, well, for now, I guess I'll see you guys next time. Keep watching, because it's gonna be driving next when I get my new battery and stuff. But yeah, all right, I'll see you guys later.